Okay, there it is.
Nope.
There we are.
Hey! There we are. Howdy, everybody. Look who's here. Well, we got a house full of folks here. Welcome this morning to the Orange Blossom Social. We are your humble correspondents. My name is Bobby Randall. This is my sidekick, Dangerous Dave. That's Fast Eddie up there. And Captain Kurt at the helm, the producer of the show, who decided to play the long extended album version of our intro today. It was 5 hours long. It's off the Orange Blossom Opry Band's White album.
Yeah, Indagato de Vita remix version.
That was the remix version that he played. Anyway, good morning, everybody. We're certainly glad you're here with us. I only have me on one side, but I guess that doesn't matter. Are you on both sides?
Yeah.
Oh, you are? Well,
Yeah, I'm good.
There I am. Now I'm on both sides. No, I'm not. Now I am. Oh, here we go. This is a little issue here. Let's fix this. Always buy your headphones, folks, at Walmart. They're the best place to get them. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. Hey, guys, how y'all doing? Look at everybody in here. Place is packed. And Mike's here, too, our roving reporter, which means if you have any questions, you simply raise your hand, and Mike will miraculously appear in front of you with a microphone so all can be heard.
Or if you're out in the internet, you can send us an email.
Yeah, you can email us if you're out there watching somewhere, and email us.
Or a comment on the live stream.
Yeah, send questions. I always see a lot of questions afterwards because sometimes I look at the remarks and there's a bunch of questions in there, and I tell Captain Kurt, you can just interrupt this when we have questions of somebody. We don't mind at all. And Heather's up there who runs the all the important stuff. She's also
She was under the weather last week.
Yeah, well, Heather was under the weather. Was that a song we wrote? I mean, it rhymes, but yeah. But also remember, Heather signs the checks, so we have to be nice. We don't have to be nice, but we choose to be nice because it just runs a little better like that. Roger's here somewhere too, the boss. So the whole gang is here. Now, what a spectacular weekend we had. If anybody was at the Orange Blossom Opry this weekend, it was awesome. You know, as most of you know, I don't find myself speechless often. The Gatlins were here, Larry Gatlin and the Gatlin Band, and I've known them for a gazillion years. I toured with them back in the 80s with Kenny Rogers. It was our band, Sawyer Brown, Larry Gatlin, and the Gatlin Brothers Band, and then it was a three-bill thing in Kenny Rogers, and then it was Kenny and Dolly. And so anyway, I've known them for a long time, and I don't want to say, you know, we don't go to Christmas parties together, but we're pals and see each other from time to time, and it's always good when they come here. So what happened, if you weren't here, was I asked Larry if he ever sings this old Johnny Rodriguez song, because Larry moved to town as a songwriter. And you got to give a guy credit for that, because if you talk to anybody that comes in over here and plays, they're all songwriters. I'm a songwriter. Everybody's a songwriter. Well, not really. Here's what you do if you want to be a songwriter. Move to Nashville and don't do anything and write songs and do that to make money. Then you're a songwriter, and then tell me how much money you make on your songs. So that's what he did. He moved to town, not as to be a singer, not anything else, to write songs. And so he had a lot of songs recorded before he got his record deal. And one of the songs, actually he recorded two songs, but Johnny Rodriguez recorded one of his songs, one of my favorite songs. And I knew Larry wrote it. And he said, no, and how's it? I said, never be. He said, well, you sing it. I've never sang that song. We never played it before
No.
ever. I never sang it in my life. I'd heard it a million times. And I said, I don't sing real good anyway. And he said, will you sing it and I'll come out and sing with you? And I went, well, that'd be great. So here you have, me that's up here hacking away as a singer and probably one of the greatest singers of all times. So I got a little, what would you call it?
Teary-eyed.
Well, I got a little choked up there a little teary-eyed. I was trying to...
Charlene calls it fangirling.
What is
You
it?
turn into a fangirl.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it was that so much as it was just a whole thing, that song, I listened to that song. So when you go back in your life, before I ever moved to Nashville, I was a big country music lover, and I was one of those guys that played the records, and I knew who played on the record, and I knew who wrote this song and who wrote that, and I was a big Johnny Rodriguez fan, and you know how he was huge back in the late 70s there. So that was a song I wore out. Now here I am with probably one of the greatest singers of all times who wrote the song, and I'm standing there and he's looking at me wanting me to sing it, and I'm going, what the hell? So yeah, I'm not in awe by him. He's just another guy to me. We're just buddies, but that kind of creeped up on me a little bit. So
I'll tell you, I went back and listened to it, and we're real proud of this band. The band is fantastic.
Listen, that band, you guys have never played that song before. The band was unbelievable. Sound just awesome.
Well, not just the band, but Doug. Dougie laid it down, boy. That steel guitar was crying.
Yeah, Dougie was killer. And I'll tell you who else was killer was Randy. Because
Yeah.
Randy probably doesn't know Johnny Rodriguez from Jose Rodriguez. But, man, he was laying it in there. And
Yeah.
You know what else was good? I'm a big fan. I'm going to get off in the weeds here on music. But, Chris, a really good country piano player Chris is, sometimes we forget or overlook the fact how great of a piano player he is.
Yes, he really is.
Because that country rhythm, to play it right, to play piano, which most people don't, but just to lay that rhythm in there with the bass, the way it was going. I mean, the whole band, it was just locked in.
And speaking of the bass, your back was turned so you didn't see it, and I'm not sure if anybody was paying attention. Keith played that whole song with one hand.
Yeah,
Because he had his
was
phone
video
in his other
recording it.
hand.
I
It was
caught
recording
that.
it.
Yeah. I'm watching him. He's playing in one hand while he's filming.
He's doing it with one hand and filming with the other hand.
Yeah, another
Very cool.
freak show. Anyway, it was just a unbelievable. It was opportunity. I always try to thank Roger and Heather Byers because everybody else gets mentioned all the time. They're the owners. And if not for them, if not for this venue, things like that would never happen. Or at least, like that. And it happens all the time. People come here, our buddies, and a lot of them come out and play. A lot of them come sing. Question is, what song has Bobby written that the Oak Ridge Boys play?
No, us, OBO.
Oh, sorry. It's a little early. We don't play any original songs because we thought about it. Roger and I talked about one day of doing original songs. I don't know if all you folks, you can tell me what you think, whether you'd be into that. I find most people, when you kick a song off and they recognize the intro and they know the song, that's what we do. I don't know how well that'd go over if we sat here and played 2 or 3 songs you didn't know. I can't sit here and tell you all my songs are great, but I've had other people record my songs. But if I played you a song that I said, here's a song you never heard before, but this is on Reba McEntire's album, are you going to respond to that? Or are you going to, because you probably never heard it before. So I don't know. We don't do that. I think the only thing we've ever played here is during the gospel show, I wrote a song. And I think we play that in the gospel show. But I don't know. What do y'all think? You tell me if it's something you'd do. Maybe we could do a songwriting night sometime with something to do. Eddie, you write songs?
No.
Yeah. All right.
No.
There's
I've tried.
You know where I learned what little bit of songwriting craft before I moved to Nashville, and I thought I was a songwriter. My mom wrote pretty good songs, and we got a couple of records somewhere around where my mom made records. And my mom's pretty smart. My mom's still here, but she was a comedian and a stand-up comedian and wrote all her jokes, and that's hard to do too because there's a big difference in a small space between stupid and funny. and stupid is not funny generally, but to be real funny. So, and then I got to Nashville and started hanging around with these songwriter guys, and I went, man, I don't know squat about writing songs, but you learn, and it's a craft. I say people, when they call themselves a songwriter, I say, no, you may write songs. There's a difference. But a songwriter, that it's like you may play football in the backyard on the weekends, or you may play football at church or something like that, but you're not a football player unless you are a football player to me. I guess that's my thing. Anyway.
Yeah, according to Captain Kurt here, a lot of people do want to hear the original song, so maybe some Friday Night Live we'll throw one or two in.
Yeah, there we go. Well, see, there you go.
I know you've had a request for I Just Want to Ride more than once.
You know what? Yep, a lot of people, I had a record out after Sawyer Brown. I put a record out myself, and it did pretty good. And see, I was Sonia Isaacs, and I jabbered all day the other day. And she said, Bobby, you're a singer. And I said, I'm not a singer. I can sing, and it goes back to the songwriting thing. I can sing, but I've never once said, when someone said, what do you do for a living? I never once said, well, I'm a singer. Because I look at Larry Gatlin. I don't know if you were here for Sonia Isaacs and the Isaacs. That woman does things with her voice that I don't even know how it's possible. She's unbelievable. And those guys are singers. You know, Lee Greenwood, to me, that's a singer. I just sing. So anyway, I had this record out, and it did pretty good. It got some airplay, and this guy bugged me about doing it. And I said, man, I do not want to. That's not who I am. But anyway, some people have heard that record, and a lot of people have heard it. And I'm a motorcycle guy. Have you ever heard that? Have you ever played that song? I Just Want to Ride? Yeah, this thing. Just want to
Shane's on that record, isn't he?
Do I?
Shane?
Yep, Shane Hill's on that record with me. Shane Hill's on there, and it's pretty awesome. But, I forget you guys know Shane. So, anyhow, yeah, maybe we'll do that. Off and onward to other things. But
so we have another question from the internet asking if who all's recorded your songs? I know Reba's recorded one.
Reba McEntire. I have a
Marshall Tucker.
Marshall Tucker Band recorded one of my songs. Do you know? I don't know if you know who Michael W. Smith is, but he's a
Christian
big
artist.
Christian artist, and I kind of got on a record of his by writing a song with another guy, and then they got together and rewrote the song.
Co-writes count.
But it was still there. Mickey Gilley, Ty Herndon, I can't remember. I don't know, a couple others here and there, but I can't remember. But Sawyer Brown, Confederate Railroad, those were easy because I was in those bands. So yeah, not a lot. I was writing songs and doing that. That kind of happened before Sawyer Brown. Once we got that band going, I kind of wrote songs for the band, and you get so busy. Songwriters are real. If you're a songwriter, that's what you're doing. You get up in the morning and you go to work. You go downtown and you sit in an office and, okay, here we are. Let's write a song. That's what you do. And sometimes you sit there and look at each other and go, let's go to the bar. I don't have anything to say. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. But let's go to the bar and drink and come back and then try to write. So it's a pretty tough thing. When is Dave and Keith going to switch off for a show? I guess that would be...
That would be in March when we do the...
Yeah, when we do our blues show, which we're revving up to do. I think we have 3 that we're going to get to open. But when we played our blues show, those guys switch off. And Dave plays bass, and Keith plays guitar. And again, to compliment Dangerous, because unless you're up in somebody's face, Dave's, you must have played bass somewhere along the line.
I was originally a bass player.
I was going to say, because he plays bass really well. Keith's crazy good on the guitar, but when he handed him the bass, I thought, yikes. But Dave can hold his own.
Our first blues opener will be March 19th, opening for DeSoto. What do they call DeSoto?
I can't pronounce that either.
DeSoto Tigers Testimony.
DeSoto's Tigers Testimony?
Yeah.
DeSoto Tigers Testimony.
That ought to be awesome.
And us.
And
then that's the first. Well, I don't know if it'll be the first because we do some of our blues stuff on occasion.
Yeah, we stumble along with it.
But that'll be our first opener. and that's when I'll play more bass. And
Now, will
probably
you play his bass upside down, or will you play your bass right side up?
I'll probably play his upside down just for the
Because he's
ease of it.
ambidextrous, which is a big word for me. But those guys are both of them freaks because they can play the damn thing either regular or
It's
tip it
funny.
upside down and play it. How do you?
The funniest thing is Keith, when he decided he was going to play left-handed, he started with the big string on the top like a normal guitar player.
Yeah, normal.
When I
Let's
started,
use that word. Let's use that word like normal.
when I started, I actually started with the big string on bottom, and I played upside down for several years before I flipped it over to the normal
Was
way I
that
play
easy?
now.
Because if you flipped the guitar over on me and said I'd be done, I'd go, I'm out.
Well, I could still play with the big string on the bottom, but I prefer the big string on top.
All right.
So,
Well, there's another whole story about that, but we'll let that go. Anyway, so in answer to that question, yeah, that's what we will be doing. Is that Nathan Smith sitting out there?
It is.
I'll be dog. Look at what he pulled in. We had a good day yesterday in the studio, Nathan and I. He actually said I did a good job, and Nathan's not an easy guy to please. So he was. Anyway, let's see Isaac. Let's talk about this weekend. This weekend is Crystal Gale. Crystal Gale will be here. 2 shows, and she's just about. Wouldn't you say she's like icon in country music? I mean,
absolutely.
She's about as in the 80s and 70s.
Me and Chef Chris might have our expectations a little too high, but we went out and bought new hairbrushes.
You're going to ask her to brush her hair? Hey, can I brush your hair? Hey, where's Mike? Mike's an ex-police officer.
That might be a good way to get a restraining order.
I'll
get her autograph at least. So I have to sign the restraining order.
We got to get her autograph on that guitar, too.
Yes.
Hey, speaking of that, this is on a side note. When do you leave for that cruise?
Saturday morning.
This Saturday?
Yeah, I'm going to miss Crystal Gale.
But do you?
Very sad.
I had this idea. I get guitars, and I do this all the time because people ask us to help raise money. Raise money for different things. So I've got an opportunity to have all these stars. They all come in the back door, so I can get a guitar. We buy it and get a bunch of guys to sign it, and they take it to whatever their charity is, and they auction it off, and they make money. And I've been doing this for years and years and years to help different things, and it's really not a big deal, but it is to them. Oh my God! I got Britney Spears to autograph a guitar one time. But I wonder if you could be so kind if I gave you an old POS guitar and run around and gurm a little bit on that cruise ship, because everybody's going to be on that ship, right? Will they let you carry a guitar on there?
I expect there'll be a lot of people carrying guitars on there. But,
yeah. A junk one.
Tell them you know Bobby Randall. That'll get
Well,
you.
no, that's what I tell you to do, because I know all those people that they're going to be out there, and if you were to say, they might throw you off the ship, but I mean, what the hell?
So don't make it a good guitar, because that'll probably go with me.
Paddling with it. Well, I thought about that yesterday, and I thought, well, I already asked.
It'd be a lot easier if you gave me if you want to do that, I'd be happy to try. But if you called Wade or John Barry or somebody and got it started, so I didn't have to cold be a groupie guy saying, I want you to sign my guitar.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah, I will. Yeah. Well, if you just come up and said, hey, I'm a friend of Bobby Randall's, then duck.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And if it goes well from there, then just see how it goes. Well, we might think about that. Because we could get a bunch of autographs, because everybody and their house cats on this country music cruise next week. All right, Crystal Gale will be here. The Cleverleys will be here this weekend, and we were talking about the Cleverleys with the Isaacs. They're all big fans. A lot of music people are fans of the Cleverleys. They're unbelievable. They're great musicians, but they take other songs that you wouldn't expect and make them bluegrass songs, and they do it well. It's not they're not slouches. They're really, really all good. The fiddle player's great, and the banjo player's good. They're all real good. But do you know any of their songs, Eddie?
Yeah.
All right, go.
Single lady, single lady. And
All
they
the
do
single
that,
ladies?
Yeah, that.
Beyonce.
Yeah, Beyonce.
Here-
But they do that.
That's a sad thing.
Yeah.
Because
I'll know when they sing them. I'll know when they sing.
Well, my wife said, I've never heard of them. And I said, well, I wouldn't expect you to. But we went on YouTube and brought up some of their songs, and my wife knew every one of them.
Yeah, I think once you see them, you're going to go, you won't forget them, that's for sure.
Well, but they're all, there's
Gangnam Style, that's
there's
the one I
no
was
Foggy
thinking of.
Mountain Breakdown or Rocky Top.
No, Gangnam Style is the one I'm thinking. That was that. I
What,
don't even
what
know.
song is that?
It was just a freak hit. So that's all I know. I had to play it.
I know they do Walk Like an Egyptian.
Yeah.
That was a big Ernest Tubb song, wasn't it, Eddie?
Sure.
Yeah, Texas Troubadours had that out.
Maybe somewhere in Texas.
Whatever. All right, well, they'll be here, and Crystal Gale has 2 shows. Also, this Sunday, our old buddy, our old pal, Kenny Evans, is going to be here, and he's awesome. And we're doing what's called a faith country show, which means, I guess to me, it means just no beer drinking songs. Is that what we say?
Yeah, it's going to be kind of inspirational songs and
Perspirational.
songs that have a message.
Okay, songs that have a message.
Yeah.
Well, and
Now, you skipped one, though. Don't forget Friday night.
2 of them you skipped. The 2 most important ones.
I tried to skip Jason D. Williams.
Yeah.
I was trying to
You
save
can't
the
skip
people.
him, man. That
Listen,
dude's light it up.
if you've not seen Jason D. Williams, and if you don't even know who he is, just come see Jason D. Williams, because he's. One year I played guitar for him, and he called me like the day before. I don't know what the hell happened to his guitar player, but he didn't have a guitar player, and that's happened several times here. I will pass it to you now, but you weren't here. I was the guitar player, and I said, well, sure, this is the day before. Can you get me a set list? No. Well, I said, so the day of the show, can you get me a set list? What the hell, what are we playing? Nothing. Just hang on. And that's what it is. Mm-hmm. He starts playing. The band has no set list. David Allan Coe's like that. They just go out there and start playing anything. And he literally starts playing anything. He's awesome, and he's entertaining, and he's crazier than a bedbug, but he's really good. And so when's he here?
He'll be here Friday night.
Friday night.
Friday night.
Yeah, Jason D. Yeah, Neil, is he using his own piano?
Yeah.
Captain Kurt, you guys?
Yeah, he'll bring his own.
Yeah, it's the only guy that comes in here. We make him use his own.
We don't have one that's sturdy.
He gets on top of the piano and jumps on it, lays on it, and all that stuff. And I said, we're not doing that. Turn up our piano. Yeah, he's like, who else should I forget?
Thursday night.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Week
Thursday
number
night.
2.
The blues show.
What?
Yeah, out of all the blues shows.
No.
Paul Thorne.
That's next week.
Eddie's on crack.
Thursday night's the second week of the contest.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking Wednesday night. You guys are jumping.
No,
I
no,
can
no.
tell you
That's
this
next week,
Wednesday
buddy.
night is really important because it's the only day, yesterday and tomorrow are the only days we have off. So there is no blues show this Wednesday.
This Wednesday. It's next Wednesday.
It's next Wednesday. Paul Thorne's next Wednesday. I already know that. But this Thursday, we're in the middle of not in the middle. We're just getting started on this
Week number 2.
showcase thing, and it's a lot of fun.
We have to congratulate week number 1 winner, Brenda Ayala.
Yeah, I thought she was good.
She was real good, I thought.
You can't help as being in the band. We don't show partiality. There's a few things we don't do because we can't do it for everybody. So one of the things, we don't really try to sing harmony. And Neil had asked me about that again, but it's not really fair because you, the people, are sitting out there, the judges, and all of a sudden here's all this beautiful harmony and everybody's singing because we know it. And then another guy comes up there and sings and we don't know that part, we don't sing. So we don't sing backup for anybody. So that way it doesn't, you don't sound better than another person. And
that way they can focus on the singer, the
on
lead
the singer, right, not on us. And so we try to play the songs as best we can. And I think, I guess you kind of somewhere you get opinion because we don't vote. We have nothing to do with anything. But in the back we talk and go, yeah, that guy, I thought she was pretty good. And when she came out the winner, I thought that was a fair call.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought she was great. I mean, of all the people there, I thought she deserved to win.
Yes, that's the first thing I told Charlene when I got home. She asked me how it went, and I said, well, the person that I felt should have won. So.
And you think, because it's all the audience votes, so you think.
It's going to be a tough one this week, though, because we got some strong singers this week.
Yeah?
Yeah, a couple of my buddies, Sean Ash and Chuck Mossholder,
Is
Carol
Sean
Wolf.
a girl or a guy?
Guy.
Guy, okay.
Yeah.
I've known both.
And we've got Sean Ash, Jenna Clark, Carol Main, DJ Malone, Chuck Mossholder, Terry Robbins, and Carol Wolf this week. So some strong singers.
Is Carol a guy or a girl?
Girl.
Oh, okay.
You know Carol.
There's two
Yeah.
Carols.
I know a guy named Carol.
And they're both
Yeah, I do.
women.
I know a guy named Karen. Karen. Did you ever know Karen Kane?
No.
singer.
I always called him Kieran
Yeah, it's Kieran or whatever. But he was an artist
from
that
the
quick.
O'Kanes.
Yeah, he had a song called "You're the Best." That's all I remember about that. Anyway, all right. So, big old show on Thursday.
Yep.
And come on out and check that out, and you, the audience, get to vote. And I think that's a better deal than having judges. I mean, because you people know what you like, and just write down what you like. You only get to vote for one person, though.
And yep.
And
Well, going to next week though.
Yeah,
Now we can talk about
No,
Eddie.
I'm all kind of messed up. I never knew we were taking a Wednesday off.
Yeah,
Well, Eddie-
Wednesday, January 22nd, and look what Eddie brought for us
Shoot.
today.
oh man, Bobby Rush. Oh, Paul Thorne.
Yeah.
Paul Thorne.
Yeah, we didn't get to talk about Bobby Rush. That was an amazing blues show.
I have become Bobby Rush and Bobby Blackman's best friend now. For some reason, they're awesome. They were awesome. I thought, here's what I think about both of those guys, because so many people get caught up in you have to be this good or that good. You have to be the best. You have to be this and that. And some cases, that's not the case. You don't necessarily have to be. I guess I could have been a singer. Kenny Chesney is. But, I mean, you don't necessarily have to be this. But here's what you do have to be. And Kenny Chesney is this. You have to be an act. You have to be something that I can hold your attention for the whole show. I don't have to be, you don't know who Brent Mason is, but you don't have to be that. You don't have to be, and I find, even me, we get caught up in that. The best guitar player, the best fiddle player, this and that. And that's, you have to be an entertainer to be successful. And that's what Bobby Rush is. He's not the greatest guitar player by a long shot, meaning he probably couldn't do much out of his field of what he does, but what he does with how he puts it together, I sat right there and watched this whole show. I never got up and went, well, that guy sucks because he can't play guitar like 100 miles an hour. He can't play like Trini Lopez, or he can't play like somebody else. He plays like himself. And both those guys, Bobby Blackman, the same way. They've learned to take what they have and turn it into something special and something that's really great, really cool. So I had, one of the, I learned a lot of things here at the Orange Blossom Opry, and that's one of the things I learned. Because what they do, they had a show. Now, you may not like the show, you may not like that kind of music, or you may not, but still, he was
Yeah, legend.
he was very entertaining and very awesome, I thought.
In the case of Bobby Rush, I have to step back and think of how many places he had to play to get to where he's at with 92 years, soon to be 92.
Well, that guy Doug,
That's a rough scene, that blues circuit. You may play to 4 people sometimes.
Well,
probably many times.
Speaking of that circuit, Bobby and I are going to hit that circuit.
yeah,
with,
we're done.
circuit, yeah.
We're leaving with Bobby Blackman.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
going
yeah.
RB Stone. Yeah.
We're going on the road. To hell with you people. We're out of here.
Was it Bobby Rush? Who wanted you to go with him?
No, it was RB. RB
Yeah, he
Stone.
wants us
Okay,
to
that's
play
right,
on
that's
this
right.
record. Now, I will say this, and I don't say this to make you all feel sorry for me, but nobody gave me anything in my life. Not one thing. Nobody handed me anything. My daddy was a truck driver, and when I got out of the Army, he got me a job as a truck driver, and I said, I'm not doing this. So when you think about those guys, I did the same thing. I bashed my way to wherever I am, but as did you, Davey, in the beer joints. Because there's no college to go to. Nobody's going to give you anything. Nobody's going to say, hey, here's this wonderful career you can have. It doesn't happen like that in the music business. It's a little bit more like that today because of American Idol and because of some of those things, and social media makes it a little bit easier. But in Bobby Rush's day, and then Bobby Randall's day, and Dangerous Dave's day. There was one way you did it, and that's you went out and you bashed your brains out
Up and down the road.
up and down the road
And
in
played
beer
in a
joints.
lot of places you really didn't want to
Now,
be
I played
in.
a lot of places you folks wouldn't even want to come in, and I learned to fight real well because it was beer joints that you fought your way in and fought your way out. I seen people shot and come up through all of that stuff. And I was in the country music end, and not saying that the blues is any worse, but those guys, Bobby Rush was telling me, about, like you said, he'll play a couple places in beer joint where there's 4 drunks in there.
Yeah.
Now, I was lucky enough that we were playing beer joints. We'd go and play. Didn't you do this? You'd show up on like a Sunday or Monday, and then you'd play all week.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we did. That's how our band got popular. Was we'd play in this place. We'd go in on a Tuesday and play Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. By Sunday, we'd be packing it out. And then they'd say, next time we came back, we could raise our money up a little bit. And it was packed out. So we had all these spots, Dayton, Ohio, Texas, Cincinnati, Florida, different places we played, Oklahoma, different bars we played that we did real well in. And we were packing it out. And it was like the old days of social media. There was no social media. There was no Facebook or none of that.
It was all word of mouth.
It was all word of mouth and all word of putting butts in seats. And then you could go to the record label and say, listen, man, we're doing something because all these people are coming to see us, Ohio and here and there and here and there. And we, this is all before Star Search. We had a bunch of record label people come out in different cities to see us. And we had a couple offers, and it was a big fluke that our band got on Star Search. But, and we, after all that Star Search, those people always thought they gave us a record deal and all that. Star Search didn't work like that, not like American Idol does. Star Search did nothing for you except hand you $100,000 and say, see ya. And we went back to a record label that was already courting us. Now, you sign your life away. Those kids that get on The Voice, those kids that get on American Idol, they sign their life away before they ever get to TV. Those people, I don't want to get bashing it, but it's not the best deal to have because you're nailed to those people, even if you don't win for a while. So anyway, but I understand his, as you do, playing in bars. Most of those people are, guys are there to get drunk and fight and other things, and girls are there to dance and get drunk. And so it's not like this, which makes you respect, I do anyway, I'm sure you do too, a job like this much more because people
Absolutely.
sit here and listen to you play music and listen to you sing, and that is, that's all a musician wants, really. It just wants to
And
play.
in this day and age of all the social media, and there's so much entertainment overload for people to actually be able to come and sit and experience a live event.
Yeah.
That to me is one of the best things about this place is, and not only are we getting to do our, we had the Isaacs Sunday, which is they're a legendary group. We have Crystal Gale this coming weekend. Then we also have guys like Bobby Rush.
Yeah. It's a pretty diverse.
The diversity is amazing. Yeah. And then don't forget we had the Santana guys on Friday this week that were just amazing. And a lot of people don't even realize it. With a Soul Sacrifice, the group, the guy that was singing lead was an amazing singer.
Yeah, he was.
And he was one of the original lead singers for the band Toto.
Yeah.
And hardly anybody even realized it.
I don't think
he looked awful familiar. Like
Did he
we
tell-
worked with him a bunch of times. You're right.
Does he tell anybody that?
No.
I don't believe he does. I think he kind
I
of
would.
keeps it low.
I'm not just
So
some
would
bum
I.
up
Yeah,
here.
if he'd have known, I'd have brought out my Toto albums.
Oh yeah. He's on several of
I'm
them.
sure he is.
Well, a lot of those cats that come in here with these tribute bands, you need to pay attention because some of those guys have some guys from like the original bands. I think that Rod Stewart guy's got somebody that used to play for Rod Stewart.
Yeah, that's going to be the big one that night.
Yeah, so there's that. What night will the OBO be doing 50s and 60s? Well,
That doesn't come in until March also, right?
yep. And so here's what we're going to do starting in, is it March? No, May, isn't it?
It's May, actually, yeah.
May, yeah. March, May, December, doesn't matter.
Yeah, not
well, anyway,
March.
every other Thursday, we're going to do what we kind of call classic country stuff, meaning old stuff, 60s and 70s stuff. We did a show in here of that and sold it out right to the wall.
Hey, if we're talking 70s, are we doing a disco one?
No, we're not doing
Come
that.
on, man.
Country
I'm waiting
music.
to bring them disco balls out.
Yeah, disco balls. Oh boy.
May 1st is the first of our classic country series.
So May 1st, we will do a classic country night. And the cool thing I'm going to do with that is I'm going to keep that request line open for you folks to send songs. And because Dave, Keith, and me, and maybe Chris, could probably do all night by themselves. Don't you think you could?
Oh yeah,
I could.
absolutely.
Now, we play 27 songs a night. I can sing 100 classic country songs. You probably can as well. So can Keith. So we know a bunch of those because we all grew up playing that with our dads and family and stuff. So it'll be fun to have the audience send in.
Now,
we'll let
Eddie
them-
Eddie was joking about a '70s disco night, but one of these
yeah.
classic country nights, I personally would like to do like a '70s outlaw country.
Oh, we could do that. Yeah, we
You know,
could do some of that.
do a bunch of
But that's
Tom Paul Glazer and
Casey and the Sunshine Band.
no,
Waylon Jennings and
we are not. You know who was friends with KC, Eddie? Mark Miller, the lead singer.
Really?
Yeah, the lead singer in Sawyer
Well, they're
Brown.
from that same era.
Well-
Same area down there in Florida.
They worked at Disney. That's
the old
Mark used to
Disney.
work at Disney, and so he was friends with Casey. I don't think Casey ever helped our band out any when our
Maybe
band
some
started.
dance moves.
I mean, yeah, well, anyway, but he was a big.
I've seen them videos. There's some spandex influence there.
Yeah.
getting back to the classic country. If you do have a song that you want to hear, go to song requests, plural,
Yep.
at obopry.com, obopry.com.
Yeah, Orange
Song requests at obopry.com.
I'm never going to remember all that.
Yeah.
It's easy. You got to
Get the
request.
app.
Go to song requests. That's what you want to do. Plural.
Request a song.
At OB Opry. Orange
OB
Blossom.
Opry, yes.
OBOpry.com. Everything's at OBOpry.com.
And then while you're there, make sure to go to our
give 'em the
Facebook.
spiel, Dave. Yep, give 'em
Go
the
to our Facebook and like our page. Share our stories. Go to our YouTube channel, subscribe. Go to our Instagram and subscribe. Go to our Spotify and subscribe. We have all these great new social media outlets. We need to get word out. So if you are a subscriber, if you would take just a moment to share, make sure you're commenting and liking all our posts.
Even if you don't.
Yeah.
Just lie.
Yeah.
We don't care. Nobody questions.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to
I
call you up
tried
and
to put
say,
a request in
Did you
for
really
free.
like that? No, that's not going
And
to
then go to the Google Play Store, to the iTunes Store, and download your own Orange Blossom Opry app. We have a new free app that you can download, and the app doesn't cost you anything. It has a full schedule on there. You can buy tickets. You can watch replays of the podcast. You can watch.
Why wouldn't you want to do that?
Sure.
Yeah. Just some night, if you're contemplating suicide, say, no, I'm not going to do it. I think I'll watch Dangerous Dave and Bobby on the podcast instead. Hey, listen.
Anyway, but that's
lots
you can do
of
that.
folks. Usually we talk about. I don't want to bore you all to death, but man, we've got a great lineup coming here. Yesterday, if y'all are country music fans at all, we lost another country music icon. I think he was. Buck White was unbelievable. If you look up his story, he's Ricky Skaggs' father-in-law. He's married to Sharon. And Ricky lost his father-in-law yesterday. I understand Buck was suffering with dementia for a long time. Ricky even said that it was prayers answered for him. I think he was 94.
I believe so. Yeah.
94. But look him up sometime. What an interesting and unbelievable career he had as a piano player, and started the Whites. It was him and his daughters. And he was also a funny guy. I got to hang around him a little bit and got to know him. Where did the name Sawyer Brown come from? That's pretty simple, from Wayne Terry. So, we were looking, the name of our band was Savannah for about 2 years, traveling around the country. And somebody else had the name. We got a cease and desist from some band out of South Carolina that was called Savannah. And there's two spellings of Savannah. Do you know that, Eddie?
No.
You don't?
One with an H and one without.
One's with an H and one with an A. See, us Midwesterners are a lot smarter than those guys up there. Yeah, there's two spellings. It ends in A and one ends in H. And they had they had copyright on the name. So they sent us a cease and desist. We had to change the name. I was a fan of Leonard Skinner. Did you know who Barefoot Jerry was? Yeah, Barefoot Jerry, and there was a band called Wet Willie, and they were all kind of fictitious character names. We thought, wouldn't it be cool to have a band named Yosemite Sam, or we were doing characters. Huckleberry Finn would have been a great name for a band. Of course, you can't take those names. And our booking agent at the time said, hey, I live on Sawyer Brown Road. What about Sawyer Brown? Bang. There's the answer to that story, and the rest is history. And when our band when our band was getting a lot of success and really, really popular, people would come to Nashville and steal the Sawyer Brown Road, steal the signs out on Sawyer Brown Road, all over the place. Guy called up and said, man, the damn people are coming down, especially at Fanfare. They drive out there and get a little wrench, climb up there and steal the Sawyer Brown Road signs. So what do? We started making plastic ones and selling them on the road.
There you go.
All right, any more questions? Any questions in-house? We hadn't heard any from anybody. Mike, we got somebody down there. If you have a question, just raise your hand. We'll be glad to chat with you. You have to say your name and where you're from.
My name's Terry, and I just want to say on last
You didn't say where you're from.
Upstate New York.
Got to talk in the microphone.
Upstate New York.
I was starting to think you're from New York by the way you were holding the microphone out here and talking. Up here, there you go.
I just want to say, last Saturday, the whole band came out on the patio to watch the ladies' entertainment. And then to top it off for me, you guys allowed me to have my picture taken with you. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. We did. I went out there because that girl's one of our favorite singers.
Melissa Lashaway, yeah.
Yeah, Melissa Lashaway. And she's probably the girl, we use Laura Kay all the time in our 90s country. We're probably going to use Melissa Lashaway in the classic country because she knows all that stuff. So we all went out there to watch her, and the whole band went out and watched, and then people started coming up and wanting pictures made. And I didn't want to be rude to the people. We took some pictures, but I thought I was being rude to her because we were taking away the attention, so we went back in.
Yeah, I think I started that.
That's okay. We took some pictures, and then we ran off.
But that was a highlight for me. Thank you.
Well, you're very
thank you.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
I didn't get a picture with you.
With us? Yeah, Eddie, you don't need any. Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
That's why they ran. They heard I was coming out there.
No, well, we were causing a little bit of fuss. Over here, Mike.
Yeah,
we were causing a little bit of fuss, and I didn't want to take away from the attention she deserves. Where are you from and your name?
I'm Terry, also from St. Louis.
Michigan or Missouri?
Missouri.
All right.
Midwest.
Show me.
Show me state.
So I want to go back a little bit. I was there for the Bobby Rush show, and I want to talk about R.B. Stone's portion.
Yeah.
Weird guitars, and at the end, you
cigar
guys did the instrumental jam. It was phenomenal. I'm so impressed that you guys could just hop in like that.
Yeah, for people that weren't here and don't know, R.B. Stone, the opener for Bobby Rush, invited Bobby and myself up to play with him. So Bobby was playing some acoustic guitar, I was playing a little bit of electric guitar, and then on the last song, Bobby pulled out this fiddle and was sawing some blues fiddle from who knows where, but it was really good.
My wife said, I never seen you play fiddle like that before. I said, well, I've never had to. I had to keep up with the boys. So it was fun.
You were both phenomenal.
You never know what's going to happen when they hit that stage.
Right?
Well, one of the things that this band is, and partially by accident, but I guess ambidextrous might be a good word. Everybody in the band sings. Everybody in the band plays multiple instruments. And everybody in the band has, what do I want to say? Just a broad knowledge. These are true music people. I don't want to take away from somebody that plays music that's had a day job and had, there's a lot of guys that lived in wherever, North Carolina, North Dakota, New York, whatever, that had day jobs and played music on the weekends and consider themselves musicians. And I guess in all fairness, they are. But these guys that are up here on stage are the real deal. They're not, these guys have been, they've done nothing but that. Keith Horn can sit down and play and sing a George Jones song, as can everybody, and turn around and play
Parliament.
Play funk music like in any black band, and as they can play, Dave can play, sit down and play Merle Haggard songs almost to perfection, like the record, and turn around and, as much as I hate to say this, but play Journey records.
He played me some Rush.
Yeah.
So they're very diverse in their background. So when you look at it and say, man, you know, these guys are playing this. When we were playing Larry Gatlin, we were playing Bone Country. And that's probably my favorite of the best. But when we opened for that Santana band, we were rocking it out. So it keeps it fun for us, but it makes it difficult. God forbid anybody decides to leave the band, because guys, where we are right now, every one of these cats will be really difficult to find somebody as diverse and as good as they are. Like I said, these guys are the real deal. There's nobody out there anywhere that's any better than these guys. There may be guys more famous and guys more this and that, but there's the Orange Blossom Opry Band. I'll put them up against anybody. I don't care who you are. The Eagles, I don't give a damn who you are. These guys can all play amazing. So
We have a good time.
we're happy to have them. Now, our light guy, he's a royal pain in the... No. I got to say this. You know, when I first came to the Orange Blossom Opry, I don't know how long some of you folks have been coming here. I'm starting my 6th year. Nothing was wrong with the place when I got here. It was fun, and I had a good time. It was kind of mom and pop's place. But in the last few years, this place has... if you're watching on Facebook and thinking about coming, you need to put the Orange Blossom Opry on your bucket list to come and see, because the show... overall show, meaning the overall experience of coming to the Orange Blossom Opry, is nothing at all like it was 4 or 5 years ago when I got here. Right from the minute you get out of your car and come down that thing, there's music playing outside that's always real good. They're not chumps out there. There's good singers and players. There's seats out there. You can sit out and get free music and listen to music before you even get in the building.
And then the volunteers that help you, that seat you.
People take you around. That lobby out there is a place you just, and that's all thanks to Heather, our boss, is a place you just feel comfortable in. The minute you walk in that door, you just want to hang out. I go hang out there sometimes. It's got a little grill going over there. They got a little, what's that shop? I can't ever think of the name of the
Flatlanders?
shop. Yeah, I call it the pawn shop, but they don't like that. But yeah, there's a shop up front where you can buy souvenirs and stuff. And the people are all friendly, but it's got that. And then you come in here, the auditorium. So the whole overall experience has really changed. And where I was going with this is the stage is new. We have a new stage, a different stage that everybody rants and raves about. And Eddie, as much as I pick on him, he knows I love him, has gone from about 5 to 105 with his light show, because the light shows are amazing in here. So, and that's all because of that knucklehead up there, because he doesn't.
Yeah, you have to be a little crazy to be able to do that.
Well,
I'm
you
there.
fit the bill. Yeah, you fit the bill.
That was one of the first things that Stewart, the guitar player with the Isaacs, he was here last year with Jimmy Fortune. He'll be back with Jimmy Fortune next month. But that was the first thing he says is, it's a new stage.
Yeah, all the guys like the new stage. It was, it looks bigger because we're just utilizing it. It's the same size. We just knocked down some things and did a lot of things that
Better
needed.
use of space.
Would you say upgrade would be a good idea? Because like there was cords all over the place and plugs on here, and I think the older people just, hey, we need a plug there, so they saw a hole in the floor and put a plug there. We kind of tried to think through it a little bit, and it's a lot more user friendly too. Would you say that?
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
A lot better. So, all right. Speaking of Jimmy Fortune, he'll be here for 2 shows on 2/3. That'd be February 3rd. He'll be here. He's getting off that cruise and coming to come in here. Susie Bogus will be here. Ricky Skaggs will be here. Neil McCoy will be here. I'm just hitting the big country guys. Jimmy Sturr. Now, we got to do something about Jimmy Sturr, folks, because we decided to bring in a polka band. And We got to sell some tickets to see the polka. Do you guys like polkas? If you don't, I'm not going to chastise you if you don't. This lady up here is going, hell no. Do you, ma'am? You got what? You have 8 people coming. Well, God bless you. See, so you like that. Where are you from?
The Villages. Where else?
No, nobody's from the Villages.
No, Jersey. We went through this
Jersey.
last week.
Yeah. Well, see, polka music was big up there. When I was a kid, my Sundays are still burnt in my head because I'd wake up with polka music. My dad, who wasn't Polish, but it was listen to polkas, eat breakfast, go to Catholic church. That was my role. And so we thought, well, there's a bunch of folks here that ought to like polkas. You like polkas, ma'am? You're from St. Louis. They didn't like polkas there. But they played it at all the wedding receptions. Oh, they do? Oh, they do?
That's why it's under my skin. I did
I'm
over-
Italian, and they played it at
Yeah.
all the wedding receptions.
You're Italian?
Yeah.
And they play polkas?
Yeah.
Polkas, what's wrong with you?
A lot of things. You
Oh.
got an hour.
Yeah. Well, you know how people ask me about different cities. You know how I remember St. Louis?
I can't imagine.
I had this company whose name I can't remember, but I used to wear, we had, in Sawyer Brown, we were sponsored by Converse, so I had Converse tennis shoes up the yang, and they weren't all that comfortable, those high-top things, because there's no arch support. And so I had this company, I found some shoes in Beverly Hills one time, and I called them up, and back then, they would take my call. Now they'd probably not. But anyway, so they said, well, we'll make shoes for you. So I had these leather kind of pointed toe shoes that came up a little bit above my ankle. Imagine a tennis shoe with a pointed toe, a little more pointed, that was all leather and had nice arches in it. So I had black and white. And anyway, the first pair I got was black and white. They looked like spats. You know what those are? Those old dance shoes. And I lost them at the damn Fox Theater in St. Louis, Missouri. They were the first day I got them, and I wore them there. And I must have left them there and never got them back. So that's how I remember towns.
Beautiful venue, though.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome. So
Casey's
I
a
went
great
downstairs,
radio
and there's
station.
people that, a bunch of people signed autographs downstairs. The Three Stooges played there. So I thought, man, I'm a big time now. My mom would. Did you watch the Three Stooges?
Oh, yeah.
My mom wouldn't let me watch the Three Stooges. She wouldn't. My mom was an advocate of trying to get it off the air because she thought, this is what, back in the 50s, thought it was violent. So there you go. I said, Mom, have you ever seen Snapped? Or whatever that shows that they have.
See, I had 2 older brothers. We were the Three Stooges.
There you go.
We lived that.
Well, not to get into Three Stooges, but they were amazing. Mo Howard was the brains behind the whole thing. You all know they were brothers except for Larry. Did you know Larry Fine, was that his name?
Yeah, Larry Fine.
He was a concert violinist. Did you know that? There's one or two shows of the Three Stooges where Larry's messing around with the violin. If you're a violin player, you can look right at him and say, that guy can play violin, just by the way he holds the instrument. And he was a concert violin player. He was interesting characters they were. All right, anyway, they won't be here, though. So unless we can talk Dave's 2 brothers into coming. This week's celebrity birthdays, Kid Rock, Dolly Parton, Ronnie Millsap. They're all having birthdays this week. Ronnie's January 16th. Millsap was a good guy. When I first started going to Nashville to hang out, Roger Miller, who was a character, owned a bar on top of this restaurant. It was called King of the Road. And in the house band, you know how you go in there and there's a guy playing the piano by himself? It was Ronnie Millsap. That's what Ronnie Millsap did till he was trying to get his record things going. Played at King of the Road in Vegas. How come you never moved to Nashville, Dave?
Be honest, I never really liked it.
Well, Nashville's.
It
Used to be a hoot. It's not anymore. I don't want to bash Nashville, but Nashville's just about like Atlanta. When I moved to Nashville, I moved in 1977. I went there in 72 and 74 and hung out, and you could go in like this and say, hey, well, that's Dave Hawkes. He plays it, and go up to get to Dave. Hey, Dave, and you'd say, oh, I know about a job here. In that case, it was this guy played for, George Jones. This guy played for Porter Wagner, and you could find everybody, and it was easy. I got a job with Charlie Rich, and I'd been in town maybe about 3 months, and just knocked around. But it is not like that anymore.
No, not at all.
It's not a pleasant place anyway for me. Although I'm going there a couple weeks. Going to go back and play with Sawyer Brown, y'all. That's what I'm going to do in February. So never say never. I'm never doing that again. eaten those words a few times. All right, we're going to kind of head for the house. Any more questions before we go? Thank you, everybody, for coming. Be sure to invite your friends to come out here if you had fun. It's free. You just walk in those doors. And sorry, folks, we're closed. And try to show up on time, and you can catch the whole show. But hopefully we'll see you down the road. Dangerous, you give them all the information on how to find us. They know all the places to go to.
Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube. You can find us on all those. And at the iTunes store and the Play Store, you can get the OBO, the Orange Blossom Opry app, the official Opry app.
Okay. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you see Fast Eddie or a man that looks like Fast Eddie in a car driving in your neighborhood, immediately call the police.
Playing an accordion polka music.
Playing the accordion, please call the police. God bless you all, everybody. Thank you. Goodbye. God bless America. Thank you, everybody. See you next Tuesday.